Mona Lisa, one of the world's most famous paintings. Every year, more than 6 million people visit Paris's Louvre to get a glimpse of her mysterious smile and wandering eyes. When I first saw the Mona Lisa more than 20 years ago, you could go right up to her. Now she's surrounded by a barrier and bulletproof glass. Today we have a private viewing with this mysterious lady to celebrate her creator, Leonardo da Vinci, 500 years after his death. The Italian master's most celebrated work might be here in the French capital, but it's in Tuscany where his journey began. A landscape almost untouched by time. The life and work of Leonardo, the Renaissance master, painter, scientist, engineer and inventor, has been subject to constant myth-making and legend. We do know he was born here in the Tuscan hill town of Vinci in 1452, 30 kilometers from Florence. With modest beginnings as the illegitimate son of a notary, he became one of the greatest artists who ever lived.
Per 17 anni si è riempito, diciamo, di questa visione che poi ha portato in tanti disegni anche e in tanti quadri che lui poi ha fatto.
Not far from his birthplace stands the Leonardo Museum. The 500th anniversary of Leonardo's death is being remembered here through an exhibition exploring the impact of the local landscape on his work. He was born in Vinci, but it's here in Florence that Leonardo trained. 500 years after his death, he remains a hero and the city's most treasured son.
Leonardo è stato un genio, un artista stupendo.
Leonardo da Vinci è stato sicuramente un grande genio del Rinascimento e uno dei maggiori pittori di quel tempo.
Era un poeta, lui metteva la poesia in tutto quello che faceva.
At the age of 12, Leonardo came to Florence and began work as an apprentice to the leading Florentine painter and sculptor of his day, Andrea del Verrocchio. For 6 years, he learned his craft: metal, leather, the arts, carving, sculpting, and of course, drawing and painting. By the age of 20, he'd become a master craftsman of the Guild and opened his own studio. Chiara, we think that the golden sphere on top of Florence's cathedral was one of the first things that Leonardo da Vinci ever worked on.
The golden sphere was commissioned in 1468 to the best workshop that we had in town. The workshop was the workshop of the master Andrea del Verrocchio. And as we know, Leonardo was an apprentice in his studio, so we might dream of the end of Leonardo working somewhere on the construction of such a beautiful golden sphere. This cathedral is a symbol of the city of Florence and a symbol of an age, the age of the Renaissance, the age of Leonardo. Because the city of Florence was back then a super important city. It was European financial capital. And in a burst of civic pride in 1296, the city decided to start the construction of the biggest church in the world.
And why did Leonardo da Vinci come to Florence?
We suppose he arrived in 1464. Back then his father lived in the city, and it was his father that went to knock at the door of the best studio in town, Bottega del Verrocchio, showed to a friend of him, Verrocchio, the beautiful sketches done by Leonardo, and Verrocchio, amazed by the sketches, decided to let Leonardo start to work as an apprentice in his studio.
So what did Leonardo learn from Verrocchio as an apprentice?
As an apprentice, Leonardo started from sweeping the floor, preparing marbles, working on the realization of scaffolding. So he really started from the beginning.
Chiara, tell us about the significance of this statue.
The porticos of the Uffizi Gallery were embellished with statues second half of the 19th century. This was an era in which top important Italian cities wanted to pay homage to the Italian glories. And we decided to pay homage to Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci loved to call himself all his life Pittore Fiorentino, Florentine painter. Wherever he went, he always wanted to pay an homage to the city of Florence.
But Leonardo was much more than just a painter, wasn't he?
Yes, he was much more than just a painter. He gave us the opportunity to see the world in a totally different way.
And if you come to Florence, this building, the Uffizi Gallery, is the key place to come, isn't it, to see Leonardo da Vinci's work?
The Uffizi Gallery is one of the world's top important museum. Inside the Uffizi Gallery, we have a room that is entirely dedicated to Leonardo da Vinci. In this beautiful room, we have 3 paintings by Leonardo, and are the paintings that he did at the beginning of his career. We can find the Baptism of Jesus Christ, painted by Verrocchio, his master, but with the help of a boy prodigy. The Annunciation, considered to be one of the first paintings that he did as an independent artist, and the Adoration of the Magi. That is a beautiful but unfinished painting that Leonardo did for the monks of San Donato a Scopeto.
Chiara, there aren't many of Leonardo da Vinci's works in existence, but we believe one of them is hidden behind this work by Vasari.
Yes, now we are in the Palazzo Vecchio in the Hall of the 500, and we believe that behind such a beautiful fresco painted at the middle of the 16th century by Giorgio Vasari, there is a lost Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo was commissioned to paint the Battle of Anghiari to commemorate the victory of the city of Florence over the city of Milan, the 29th of June, 1440. And he decided to paint on the wall with an oil technique. And when he started to paint over, he saw the colors falling down and took the decision to leave the painting unfinished. On the very top of this fresco, there is a flag, a green flag, and there we can read "Cerca, trova," seek and you will find.
It's like a clue.
It's like a clue.
This all just adds to the mystery that is Leonardo da Vinci, doesn't it?
For sure. Everything about Leonardo da Vinci was mysterious. His personal life, his artistic career, in his notebooks, in his sketches, all the inventions that he did, all the things that he left unfinished.
Leonardo da Vinci is a hero in Italy, but it's France's Louvre that has more of his works than anywhere else. Here at the museum, there are 5 of fewer than 20 paintings attributed to the Italian master, including John the Baptist. And legend has it that this magnificent work, along with St. Anne and his favourite painting, the Mona Lisa, were carried on a 2-month trek on a donkey's back across the Alps by Leonardo, aged 64, to France's Loire Valley, where he would live for the last 3 years of his life, a guest of none other than the young King of France, Francis I. He later bought the Mona Lisa and other works, but its worldwide fame came from a petty Italian art thief named Vincenzo Perugia, who in 1911 stole it to bring it home to Italy. Before it was returned to the Louvre, it became the centre of a global scandal. Today, people in Da Vinci's hometown maintain it belongs in Italy.
Portino qualche quadro qua, in particolar modo la Mona Lisa, voglio dire, cioè, quella sarebbe la cosa più importante, però però i francesi sono francesi.
Farebbe piacere riaverli perché è una nostra ricchezza.
La Gioconda è veramente un capolavoro indescrivibile, sarebbe stato bello fosse in Italia, però.
Europe is staging a year-long frenzy of events to mark the anniversary of his death. But Italian museums are reluctant to lend some key paintings for the Louvre's October exhibition. It's become a political row.
Ricordare una parte di Leonardo, che va bene che la ricordi la Francia, però mi sembra giusto che la ricordi anche l'Italia, insomma che Leonardo tutta la sua vita pittorica l'ha sviluppata guardando i paesaggi dell'Italia e del mio paese.
Il s'agit là en l'occurrence de veiller à organiser une belle exposition sur Léonard de Vinci pour les 500 ans de Léonard de Vinci. C'est un moment fort et ça devrait être une fierté aussi pour les Italiens.
Transporting old works is always delicate. And one thing's for sure, this smiling lady won't be going anywhere.
Whatever happens in the row over Leonardo da Vinci's works, the artist remains an important part of the Loire Valley's heritage. Come to the Château Amboise, where the master is buried, and you'll discover how his memory is kept very much alive.
Non, je sais pas. Non, c'est comme ça. Oui, c'est sûr qu'avec les perles, après, ça sera mieux. C'est chouette.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Qu'est-ce que vous faites? Vous êtes là en train de préparer le costume pour un spectacle sur la Renaissance.
Oui.
Qu'est-ce que ça vous fait d'être dans le peau de Léonard de Vinci?
Un honneur, une fierté, parce que Léonard de Vinci était un génie, et donc c'est toujours bon de pouvoir essayer de se mettre dans ses pensées, dans sa vie à lui.
Qu'est-ce qu'il représente pour la France?
Par le biais de François Ier, il a emmené au niveau de la Renaissance toutes les nouveautés qu'on a pu connaître à cette époque-là.
Soyez le bienvenu à Amboise, que l'illustre Léonard de Vinci, le plus grand d'entre les grands, ait accepté notre invitation à demeurer ici même, est un bien grand honneur qu'il nous fait, à nous et au royaume de France tout entier.
On est très fiers d'avoir Léonard de Vinci dans notre spectacle, et donc on lui a fait un costume. Tout est fait par des gens de notre association, et on y a passé plus de 60 heures pour le faire.
Les vêtements à l'époque, c'était des vêtements déjà où il fallait montrer qu'on avait de l'argent. Parce que plus on était riche, plus on montrait qu'on avait du tissu.
When Leonardo arrived here at Clos Lucé, which was to be his home for the last years of his life, the Florentine artist delivered Italian Renaissance elegance to France. Today his former home has been transformed into a museum. We can visit his bedroom, and his workshop has been recreated. Here he did little painting. Instead, he experimented with architectural and engineering projects. Some of them are brought to life in the gardens of his former home.
Why did Leonardo come to France?
In 1516, Leonardo was in Rome and his patron, Giuliano de' Medici, died. So he needed financial support. And in France, you had this new king, Francis I, very young, very ambitious. And he wanted to make France a new Rome. So he attracted Italian artists, and the best painter in Italy was Leonardo.
And what did Leonardo do in the final years of his life when he lived here?
So he spent 3 years here in the Clos Lucé, and he didn't paint anymore, but he drew sketches, and he organized parties also, and was a kind of engineer for the court.
And 500 years after his death, we're still discovering things about Leonardo da Vinci. Tell us about the nude Mona Lisa.
The nude Mona Lisa is a big drawing kept in the Château de Chantilly in the north of Paris. And this drawing was acquired as a Leonardo da Vinci and then disattributed. We made recently important scientific analysis to learn more about it. And the discoveries were made. We discovered that this drawing was made in the workshop of Leonardo, and it was most likely made by the master himself, because we discovered left-handed etching, and you know that Leonardo was left-handed.
Macho, why is he still so interesting and so fascinating 500 years on to everybody?
Because he's a master of art, he's a master of science, of engineering, so everybody knows him, and for a good reason, because his genius was very, very important.
Born in Tuscany, laid to rest in the Loire Valley, Leonardo da Vinci will always be an eternal link between France and Italy. But he is, above all, a universal symbol of an artist who defied borders and a leading light of Renaissance humanism, whose legacy is cause for celebration all over the world.